How's it going, y'all? Back with a new damn video. Let's get right down to it. Week 5, Eagles versus Pittsburgh Steelers. This matchup, it's going to be a tough one, no doubt about it. The Battle of PA happens every once in a while. I've always dreamt for us to meet in a Super Bowl, and it almost happened a few times. Almost happened in 08. Could have happened in 04. A few other times too, but I always dreamt of that, and you know, whatever. Oh, I damn fly, sorry. But yeah, this Steelers team is still good. I mean, I understand they only beat the Broncos and the Giants and the Texans, and they barely beat the Texans. And the Broncos was whatever. The Giants, they were in a close game the whole time, and then eventually they won. I think it was by 10 points or a little more, but still, the whole thing was close. But I look at it and go, listen, the only advantage we have, or it could be disadvantage, we'll see. But I heard on NFL Network how, I can't remember the girl's name, but she was talking about how she was on a Zoom call with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin was very pissed off this week not pissed off, but he was a little upset how they had to have early bye week, like an advanced bye week, where they expected their bye week to be at a certain date, but it was this one. And it wasn't even really a bye week for them. It was more of, they're all coming in and getting tested for the COVID and this and that and this and all these I had to go through all these loops and boundaries, and all this stuff was going on. They didn't get to really do what they expected. For example, their natural bye week, if it came up the bye week, they said, all right, you guys go home, rest, do this, do that. There was all these different protocols and different things they had to go through, and it was too much, he was saying, or something like that he was saying. So that's an advantage or a disadvantage, because it could be a disadvantage. What if they come out fired up, pissed off, and just light it up? Or do they come out sluggish and sloppy? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, in my opinion, on their defense, they ain't going to be no sluggish and sloppy. Those boys are good. And they've been good going back to last season. Now, last season, if Big Ben didn't get hurt, or they just had decent quarterback play, they would have made the playoffs. They were like, what, game or two away from making the playoffs? They would have been in the freaking playoffs. And their defense was balling. And right now, they're balling again. So I don't look at this 3-game sample of this year. Yeah, they were some scrubs, whatever, but still. Defense is awesome for them. You know, best linebacking core in the NFL, in my opinion. One of the best ball hawk safeties in the league, Mika Fitzpatrick. Great D-line for them. So we know their defense is going to, show up. It's the offense, on the other hand. Now, a lot of Eagles fans are saying, well, they don't got much. Huh? Let's see, they got James Conner, Beanie Siegel as the back. Well, they sometimes rotate at the backup. Basically, then you got Juju Smith-Schuster, of course, which I guess Darius Slay will probably be on him, depending on where they want him. But they also got guys like Dante Johnson, Claypool out of Pitt. They got all these guys. Steelers are the only team I know that has always had good receivers. They just always just draft good receivers. Antonio Brown, late round pick. Juju Smith-Schuster, yeah, second round, but still. Emmanuel Sanders, I think he was like a latest round pick. I can go back to Hines Ward. This guy, I mean, they just develop receivers like crazy. Pittsburgh Steelers do. And they have receivers. They're there. Trust me on that. So they can definitely shred us up. Now, what it comes down to is our defensive line. Our defensive line needs to attack and get after it. They need to really get after it. Because I'm telling you right now, Big Ben is not the same old Big Ben. Now, Big Ben has been hurt since last year. With that, what was it, a shoulder injury, elbow injury. He was out for the whole year. He missed. He played until week 2. I think it was, got hurt, whatever the hell. And he was out. And then he would say it's the best he feels in his life because he didn't get to throw in any preseason. He had to throw anything. He just feels great. And he looked pretty solid. And I saw the Giants game, a little bit of the Broncos, and a little bit of Texas. I didn't get to watch fully all the games. But he looks like he's back. But he is older, okay? But he can still launch the ball. The guy still has an arm. I don't think they'll ever leave him. The guy's always been Big Ben. Big arm guy, big strong body. Can avoid sacks and tackles. Now, avoiding the sacks and tackles might be something that he still is not great at because of his age. We need to get after him early. Get him off rhythm and just get him out of whack. Especially with this certain bye week they said that wasn't correct and whatever. We need to get after Big Ben and get him on his ass and just take him down. That's our only hope. But I think they probably looked at that 49ers game. If you go back and look at us versus the 49ers and you see what we did great on the defensive line. But once they sped up the offense, did an up tempo just a little bit, we didn't have time to rotate guys in and out in the rotation. So they started shredding us. And they just got right through. We also were playing a little bit of a prevent late in the game, so I understand. But still, they could look at that at film and go, we just go up tempo on these guys, and they can't rotate the people, and they're going to get tired real quick up front. Hopefully not. Offensively, though, that's defensively. We got to do our thing against Big Ben. That's it. And try to stop the run game, which we've been doing pretty solidly the past few weeks. A little bit. But really try to contain Big Ben and just get him. The way you did McMullins and even you did Jared Goff late in that third, fourth quarter, whatever the hell, should have done it in the beginning, but still, you did against Haskins. Get after him. Just get after him. And then we'll see what happens. But they do have great receivers and a really good offense. Now, offensively for us, what we need to do is, if Doug can call the same kind of game plan that he called against that 49ers team, we have an actual shot to win this game. Think about that. We actually have a shot to win the game. Oh my God. We could have won many others if Doug actually called a good game like it did against the 49ers. In the beginning, Doug was terrible at the play calls, but you go back and watch it, he did some his old stuff, screens, getting guys open, this and that. And we didn't have much talent. Travis Fulgham, T-Ham, baby, catching bombs and stuff. But his play calling was very good when it mattered most in that game. If Doug can call a game like that, and Carson can be consistent. Now, I'm not expecting to air the ball out left and right. And if Doug does tell him go deep, this and that, he's an idiot. Like I said, they got safeties, and the linebacking core is the best in the league. They're ball hawks. I mean, they're going to get right after it. He might get intercepted like all hell. This might be one of his worst performances. And then, especially this week, I don't know, we're still trying to see if Lane Johnson to come back. It's probably going to be Jordan Mailata again at left tackle. There is talks of Deshaun possibly playing, and maybe Alshon. Now, Alshon, they say he was out today with an illness at practice, but there could be a thing like they've been doing, like day before the game, announcing who's in and who's out, just to get the Steelers off guard or another team off guard, any team. And I would love to see Alshon back. As much as we say, oh, he's beat up, want him traded, which I did want him traded, he comes in and him and Wentz have a connection. They just do. With the jump balls, with everything, Wentz can just air it out and, just throw those jump balls. He can lob up and get it. But what I'm saying, other than that, is Wentz needs to be precise and be the same way he kind of did on Sunday night, but a little better. Because this defense, like I said, linebacking core, safeties are good, corners are solid. He can't be bullshitting out there, man. If he does the same kind of performance but a little better, and Doug continues to call the same kind of game plan that he called in that game, we have a possible chance. Now, do I think we win the game? Honestly, I don't see it. I think it's going to be a close game and go either way, honestly. Unless the Steelers just come out of the gate and they just start throwing bombs on us, and then we have to respond by trying to score points fast. So Wentz is throwing things wild and off cadence, just all over the place. And next thing you know, he's throwing interceptions, he's fumbling, and everything's a mess. We'll see, though. I think it should be a good game. And if I didn't mention earlier, I think there will be fans in the stands for this game. So that could pump up the Steelers. We're going to see how they play. With a few hundred fans in the stands, if they do show up, which they probably will. With the fans in the stands, how do they play? They might get more pumped up, the Steelers. The players. More pumped up hearing the fans, whoa, and they might feed off it. Defensively, of course. So we'll see what happens with that. That's really all I can say. Let's go Birds, Fly Goes Fly. I'm out. Comment below on your thoughts. One last thing, Jalen Hurts. I've seen Jalen Hurts, every time he does plays on this offense, they are the leading first downs or some of success besides a fumble or two. There has to come a time in one of these games where Doug has the cojones, the balls, the nuts, whatever you want to call it, to finally, once we get into that position where it's either it's a read option, whether he runs it or the running back does, the defenses each week are collapsing this way on it. They know it's either a run either way, and they get in shock. They needed to call an RPO. And there's going to be a guy running a slant wide open and just have Jalen Hurts toss a slant, and maybe he takes it to the house or a bomb or a screen or something, and it'll be unpredictable. That's just something I thought of. Not this week, but any of these weeks. After watching all these Jalen Hurts little trick plays, they got to finally get him in where it looks like it's a read option, but it's really an RPO. Boom, and he hits somebody, and they're open. I don't know. Let's go Birds, Flyers, fly them out. You guys comment below on your thoughts. Hopefully we get a win. I'm not guaranteeing nothing, man, especially against this team. But if we can attack that offense and we can somehow keep it close, we'll see what happens.